How did I self publish books, children's books, journals, different things like that? Thank you, Francesca and Rich, for sending in that question. And this episode is going to be super raw, unedited. I'm going to talk about the challenges that I've had as an author. I'm going to tell you the good things, the things I've had to really pray about. But anyway, all that and more coming to you today in this very real episode. So, if you are new here and I'm meeting you for the first time, my name is Brianna Churchill, and I have authored children's books. Books like my first ABC transportation book, Whoosh, It's the Weather book, and my latest release, The Little Bird Who Wanted to Fly. I also have some children's journals, adult inspiration journals. So, before we get in the nits and grits, be sure to check my books out in the description box below. I also have a self-publishing course if you want more details of how to, do all the things. But let's get into what this journey has really been like. All right, boys, come on. About to get ready to go to the library. Let's get ready to go. Come on. So if you haven't figured it out, I am not just an author, I'm also a mom too. And so honestly, I've been juggling being wife, mommy, and author. And to be honest, it is not always easy because you have to find that work balance between the kids, your husband, ministry, and anything else you're a part of. So a lot of times with publishing and writing, I do it early in the morning before the kids get up or during nap time or quiet time. Yes, we're going to go get it. Let's go ahead and go get in the car. So once I had written my manuscript, and I think the first step to publishing is finishing your manuscript. And in my case, my kids have been my inspiration, as well as God. And so once you have your manuscript done, then it's trying to figure out, and you've got it edited, all of those things, got your illustrations. And again, if you want more details about that, I talk about that in the course of how to find illustrators and different things. But the next thing was finding someone to publish, like actually get it printed and distribute it. And so I decided to go with Amazon KDP, which is Kindle Direct Publishing. So in addition to Kindle Direct Publishing with Amazon, I also use Barnes& Noble Press, just because I was looking for a publishing or like distributor that also offered hardback formats, and so I was able to do that with the last book. One of the other questions that I get often is, how long does it take from the time that you start your book to the time that you finish? So by the time that I finished my manuscript, and with the last book, I actually put it aside for a year because I didn't think it was good enough. And I wrestled with it and I prayed and got encouraged by friends and family and went on to publish it. But once you decide that your manuscript is ready to go, you ready to get it illustrated, that took about 3 months-ish. And then far as like once you submit your formatted book to like Amazon or Barnes& Noble Press, that's usually within a week that you can go ahead and you just set the date that you want it to be distributed, and it launches out on whatever date that you set, or whenever they release your book, once it's been approved for like quality assurance, they make sure the formatting is right. And if it isn't right, they'll send it back to you, and then that becomes a thing. But again, I kind of go over like how to find formatters, how to find illustrators and editors in the course, if you want more details about that kind of stuff. So one of the things that I will say is that writing the book was probably the easiest part of self-publishing. The things that I've had to learn as an author has been anywhere from how to create a press release, how to contact the news, how to contact newspapers, how to contact magazines and podcasts, how do you properly build a book launch team. Those were things that I didn't know, like, oh my goodness, I had to figure all that stuff out. And so thank goodness for, thank God for YouTube and many creators who have put out so much great content where you can really learn how to do any new skill on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, right now I'm currently working on the audiobook for The Little Bird Who Wanted to Fly, and I have to go book time at a studio because, Audible has requirements, as they should, and just all those little things. And I guess if you are from a traditional publishing house, you might have access to those things, but as a self-published author, I had to learn it all myself. Or even like things like, how do you even get your book in the library? that was something that I really didn't know how to do, but I just started off by asking the librarian, and it was actually pretty simple. And she started talking about like a catalog. And so, anyway, if you're watching this video, get the little bird who wanted to fly at your local library. All you have to do is ask your librarian, and it's already been cataloged. That's their lingo, at least in my town. And so, yeah, especially if you have your book for expanded distributions where libraries and other book stores can order your book at any time. And so it was pretty easy. It did take a few weeks for the book to get in the library, but that's also part of the publishing journey. I think one of my favorite parts of self publishing is just having the liberty. I was able to choose my own illustrator, very hands on process. And I know that some of my friends who are traditional published, you don't always get to have a say so with every detail of the process. And I really enjoyed that because it kind of was like my baby, and I got to share my baby with the people that were working with me on all the projects, especially this last one. And so, yeah, but drop your questions below. That's how I publish. So, again, through Amazon, through Barnes and Noble. There's other options out there. There's Ingram Spark, which is also partnered with Amazon. So it's kind of the same thing, but you can go straight through them as well, and you can have the same distribution. But yeah, if you have more questions or anything like that, let me know. Right now, I'm just about to play with my kiddos in the library. But be sure to drop your questions below. Oh, one last thing. One of the things that I love about being a children's book author is, of course, being able to read and read to the kids. And that was something else I had to learn. How do you schedule school visits? How do you schedule library visits? How do you create your own book tour? How do you do virtual book tours? How do you do in person? Should you charge? Should you not? And it's been a learning curve, honestly. It hasn't been easy trying to figure out, like, how do you do book signings? How do you do vendor events? How do you do market research? All of that was part of being a self-published author, and I didn't know much about those things prior to, but I'm learning, and it's a fun journey, but it's definitely a lot of hard work. But one of the key scriptures in one of my latest books is that there's a time for everything. There's a right time for everything. And I just trust God's timing with it all. And even with the next book, people have been asking me, am I going to publish another book? Yeah, I have a few manuscripts, but I'm kind of torn. Should I keep self publishing, or should I try a traditional publisher? Is it going to be easier? Is it not? I don't know. So I'm just kind of praying about it. But yeah, there'll be more books coming out for sure. I just don't know when yet, because I'm still just trying to see. Right now, I'm kind of dipping my toes in traditional publishing, like sending out query letters to kind of see if I want to go that route. But I haven't yet decided yet. But I'll keep you guys posted if I do decide to go that route. But that's all for now. But drop your questions below. And if you have more questions about self publishing, being an author, all the things, I'll be glad to share that with you. So, yeah, talk to you guys later. And again, books, courses, one of my courses is below. And yeah, I'll be glad to help if I can. Bye.